Recently, Twice and BLACKPINK have been getting compared a lot online, and not just casually. Their comebacks and concerts overlapping has reignited a fandom war that's been brewing for years. But is the comparison fair? Or are fans just feeding unnecessary hate? Let's break it down. Let's rewind a little, back to 2022 and 2023. BLACKPINK had just dropped their mega-anticipated album, Born Pink. Yup, the one with Pink Venom, Shut Down, and a handful of tracks that basically broke the internet. It was supposed to be their grand return, their big moment after years of limited group releases. And honestly, the hype was real. The visuals? On point. The production? Massive. The album dominated global charts, and their world tour became one of the highest-grossing concerts for a K-pop girl group ever. But, things weren't all rosy behind the glitter. Soon after the concerts kicked off, criticism started flooding in. People, even some blinks, began calling out the group for being, well, lazy. The performances were getting labeled as underwhelming. Fans were pointing out poor synchronization, low energy, and lack of effort, especially in certain cities. Clips went viral showing them barely dancing during choreo sections, walking instead of hitting the moves sharply, and some fans even said, "Why did I pay hundreds of dollars just to watch them vibe on stage?" Harsh? Maybe. But it sparked a wave of backlash that even major media outlets started reporting on. The narrative quickly shifted from "BLACKPINK is back" to "Is BLACKPINK even trying anymore?" And that criticism stuck around for months. Now flash forward to 2025. And guess what? The same thing is happening all over again, but this time, it's Twice who's facing the backlash. Twice had already announced their comeback for their fourth full album, This Is For, way back, about a month in advance. Fans were counting down, teasers were rolling out, and onces were ready for a big, emotional, and powerful comeback. But then, on July 5th, BLACKPINK suddenly dropped a surprise single titled Jump during their concert itself in Goyang. No prior teaser, no official promo, it just happened live in front of thousands of fans. And that wasn't all. Right after the concert, they announced that the music video for Jump would be released on July 11th, which just so happened to be the exact same day as Twice's album drop. And that's when speculation started. Was it just coincidence? Or was it a calculated move to steal attention away from Twice? Let's be honest. BLACKPINK is massive. One random drop from them can trend worldwide within minutes. So naturally, fans started saying this was done to overshadow Twice's comeback, especially because view counts and media coverage would lean toward BLACKPINK simply because of their global fanbase. So now people are asking, was this another PR stunt? A silent battle for attention? Or just unfortunate timing? We may never know. But what's clear is, Twice deserved that spotlight. And not everyone's happy with how it turned out. Now let's talk about Twice's consistency. Over the years, Twice has released over 200 plus tracks, and they don't just let them sit in playlists. They performed live, night after night, in front of thousands of fans, giving their all on stage. Yes, of course, they probably get tired. They're human. But one thing that never fades is their synchronization, their energy, and their connection with the audience. And this time? They leveled up even more. Twice introduced a full 360-degree stage, where they were surrounded by fans on all sides. No hiding, no breaks, no shortcuts. They trained for months on a demo 360 stage setup, just to get used to performing flawlessly in that intense environment. Meanwhile, BLACKPINK's recent tour gave off a very different vibe. And let's be clear, we are not blaming the girls themselves. BLACKPINK still has their group contract renewed, and obviously, that means they've got to follow what YG schedules. But from the outside, it honestly felt like their tour was more of a money-making stunt by YG Entertainment than a passion project by the group. With all four members focused on solo careers, acting, modeling, solo music, it really felt like this concert was YG's way of cashing in on high fan demand. In fact, up until literally one day before the concert, fans assumed it would just be a show of old group songs mixed with a few solo stages. No one expected a brand new release to drop during the concert itself. So now the question is, was Jump even planned long ago? Or was it a last-minute move to grab attention and maybe, just maybe, distract from another group's big moment? Now let's talk about the Jump MV. It was reportedly filmed practically in just one day. And while the visuals looked clean, it was obvious to many that the video relied heavily on AI, green screens, and digital enhancements. There was no official choreography shown in the MV, no dance practice, just one stage performance during their concert. And while BLACKPINK is capable of jaw-dropping stages, this time, fans couldn't help but notice that not much effort seemed to be put into the choreography or physical performance of this track. On the other hand, Twice spent months preparing for their album This Is For. Every detail, from vocals to concept to stage practice, was done with full commitment. And that's not just fan talk, netizens themselves have been pointing this out. And then came the comparisons. Clips went viral on social media, one of Twice performing Fancy mid-concert, and one of BLACKPINK performing Jump during their surprise drop. Some blinks began comparing them sarcastically, saying things like, "BLACKPINK's laziest choreography is looking more energetic than Twice's most powerful one." But let's stop right there. Do y'all even realize what Twice was doing at that point in the concert? Fancy was their 25th song in the setlist. 25 songs in, including new unit tracks, solo performances, and group choreographies, all back-to-back, with no major breaks. Meanwhile, BLACKPINK, who have only 32 songs in total, included long VCR segments between stages, giving the members extended time to rest. Jump was literally their first live performance of the night. They were fresh, energized, and hadn't done an entire set yet. So comparing Twice at their 25th song to BLACKPINK at their first, and then calling Twice low energy? That's not just unfair. It's disrespectful to the hard work these girls put in. At the end of the day, Twice and BLACKPINK are not rivals, they're two legendary groups who carved their own paths in K-pop history. But when one group's effort is overlooked and mocked just because another is more hyped at the moment, that's when we need to pause and reflect. Twice gave us an entire full-length album, new stages, insane choreographies, and heartfelt performances. And they did it with grace and professionalism, even when the odds were stacked against them. So instead of comparing and tearing down, let's appreciate what each group brings to the table. Because at the end of the day, K-pop doesn't need more wars. It needs more respect. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this was all just unfortunate timing, or was there more going on behind the scenes? Either way, I'll see you in the next one.